Prologue, the Majapahit Empire. In the late 14th century, the Majapahit Empire was at the pinnacle of its power. Its influence stretched across Southeast Asia, from Sumatra to New Guinea, encompassing the Malay Peninsula and the southern Philippines. The empire's prosperity was built on a sophisticated network of trade routes, political alliances, and cultural exchanges. At its zenith, Majapahit was a beacon of Javanese civilization, a place where art, architecture, and literature flourished. The empire's golden age was largely attributed to the reign of King Hayam Wuruk and his brilliant prime minister, Gajah Mada. Together, they had achieved a level of unity and stability previously unseen in the region. Gajah Mada's famous Sumpah oath to unify the archipelago became a guiding principle for the empire's expansionist policies. However, the death of Hayam Wuruk in 1389 marked the end of this era of stability and set the stage for the tumultuous events that followed. The seeds of conflict. Hayam Wuruk's death left a void that could not easily be filled. The throne passed to his daughter, Wardhana, and her husband, Wikramawardhana. However, Wirabhumi, Hayam Wuruk's son from a concubine, also had a legitimate claim to the throne based on Javanese traditions of primogeniture, which often favored male heirs. This dual claim to leadership created an environment ripe for conflict. Wirabhumi, a charismatic and ambitious leader, quickly garnered support in the eastern provinces of the empire. His followers were drawn to his vision of a more assertive and expansive Majapahit, one that would continue the legacy of his father. Meanwhile, Wikramawardhana, who was more cautious and diplomatic by nature, sought to consolidate power and maintain the status quo. The stage was set for a power struggle that would engulf the empire. The call to arms. By 1404, the tension between Wirabhumi and Wikramawardhana had reached a breaking point. Skirmishes along the Brantas River escalated into full-blown battles as both sides vied for control. These early clashes were marked by their intensity and the cunning strategies employed by both leaders. Wirabhumi, leveraging his deep knowledge of the eastern territories, launched a series of surprise attacks that caught Wikramawardhana's forces off guard. Wikramawardhana, realizing the gravity of the situation, began to muster his forces. He called upon the loyalty of regional leaders and sought to strengthen his position through diplomatic means. Despite his initial reluctance to engage in open warfare, the escalating threat from Wirabhumi forced him to act decisively. The first clashes. The war began with a series of skirmishes that tested the resolve and capabilities of both sides. Along the fertile banks of the Brantas River, villages were turned into battlegrounds as soldiers fought fiercely for control. These early battles set the tone for the conflict, showcasing the strategic brilliance and ferocity of both Wirabhumi and Wikramawardhana. One notable early clash was the Battle of Kediri, where Wirabhumi's forces launched a daring nighttime raid on Wikramawardhana's camp. The surprise attack caused significant casualties and disrupted the king's plans. However, Wikramawardhana's generals quickly regrouped, demonstrating their resilience and tactical acumen. The battle ended inconclusively, but it highlighted the high stakes and the ruthlessness that would define the war. The Battle of Lazim. As the war progressed, both sides sought to gain strategic advantages. The Battle of Lazim, fought on the northern coast of Java, became a crucial turning point. Lazim was a key port city, and controlling it meant dominating the vital maritime routes that supplied the empire. Wirabhumi, recognizing its importance, concentrated his efforts on capturing the city. In a meticulously planned assault, Wirabhumi's forces launched a multi-pronged attack on Lazim. The battle raged for days, with both sides employing complex tactics and demonstrating extraordinary bravery. Wirabhumi's knowledge of the terrain and his ability to inspire his troops proved decisive. After intense fighting, his forces emerged victorious, securing control of Lazim and boosting his campaign's momentum. The tide turns. Despite his early successes, Wirabhumi's position remained precarious. Wikramawardhana, determined to reclaim his authority, began to consolidate his forces and forge new alliances. He reached out to regional leaders, promising rewards and titles in exchange for their support. This strategy proved effective as more provinces pledged their loyalty to the king. By late 1404, Wikramawardhana's army had swelled in size and strength. He launched a series of counteroffensives aimed at reclaiming lost territories and undermining Wirabhumi's support base. These campaigns were marked by their precision and coordination, reflecting the king's strategic vision. Slowly but surely, the tide of war began to turn in Wikramawardhana's favor. The Siege of Trowulan. One of the most significant and grueling episodes of the Regreg War was the Siege of Trowulan. As the capital of the Majapahit Empire, Trowulan was the heart of its political and cultural life. Wirabhumi, emboldened by his victories, decided to strike at the very core of his rival's power. In early 1405, he laid siege to the city, hoping to force Wikramawardhana into submission. The siege was a brutal affair, lasting several months. Wirabhumi's forces encircled the city, cutting off supplies and bombarding it with relentless attacks. The defenders, led by Wikramawardhana himself, mounted a tenacious defense, repelling assault after assault. The city's walls, reinforced with the finest Javanese engineering, stood firm against the onslaught. Inside Trowulan, conditions deteriorated rapidly. Food and water became scarce, and disease spread among the besieged population. Despite the hardships, the defenders' resolve remained unbroken. Wikramawardhana's leadership and the city's strategic importance galvanized the people, who fought with unyielding determination. The turning point. The turning point in the siege came in late 1405, when Wikramawardhana's forces, bolstered by reinforcements from loyal provinces, launched a daring counteroffensive. In a series of brilliantly coordinated maneuvers, they managed to break through Wirabhumi's lines and launch a surprise attack on his camp. The attack sowed chaos and confusion among Wirabhumi's troops, forcing them into a hasty retreat. The successful defense of Trowulan marked a significant shift in the war. It not only relieved the capital but also demonstrated Wikramawardhana's resilience and strategic prowess. The king's ability to inspire and lead his forces under dire circumstances bolstered his standing among his supporters and weakened Wirabhumi's position. The final stand. As the war dragged into 1406, both sides were exhausted, but the end was in sight. The decisive confrontation came at the Battle of Daha, a city located in the heart of the empire. This battle would determine the fate of Majapahit and decide the victor of the Regreg War. The Battle of Daha was an epic clash that unfolded over several weeks. Wikramawardhana's forces, now well organized and experienced, faced Wirabhumi's dwindling army in a showdown that would echo through history. The battle was marked by its sheer brutality, with both sides unwilling to yield an inch of ground. Wikramawardhana, utilizing his superior numbers and strategic acumen, launched a series of coordinated attacks aimed at breaking Wirabhumi's defenses. The fighting was intense and bloody, with heavy casualties on both sides. Despite his best efforts, Wirabhumi's forces were gradually overwhelmed by the relentless assault. The aftermath. Wirabhumi, realizing the futility of further resistance, made a last-ditch attempt to escape but was captured by Wikramawardhana's troops. In a decisive and symbolic act, he was executed, effectively ending the Regreg War. Wikramawardhana emerged as the undisputed ruler of Majapahit, but the cost of the war had been staggering. The empire, though victorious, was left weakened and fractured. The resources spent on the war, the loss of countless lives, and the destruction of infrastructure took a heavy toll. The unity and stability that once characterized Majapahit were now replaced by lingering divisions and a sense of vulnerability. Epilogue: The legacy of the Regreg War. The Regreg War, while a testament to the resilience and tenacity of the Javanese people, also highlighted the inherent vulnerabilities of the Majapahit Empire. The civil war exposed deep-seated divisions and strained the empire's ability to maintain control over its vast territories. Although Wikramawardhana succeeded in preserving the throne, the scars of the conflict lingered, setting the stage for further challenges in the years to come. The decline of Majapahit. In the decades following the war, the Majapahit Empire faced increasing pressure from external threats and internal dissension. The rise of Islamic sultanates in the region, coupled with the growing influence of European colonial powers, further eroded Majapahit's dominance. By the early 16th century, the once mighty empire had fragmented into a collection of rival states, each vying for power and influence. The internal divisions that had been exacerbated by the Regreg War left the empire vulnerable to external influences. Islamic traders and missionaries, who had long been active in the region, began to establish footholds in various parts of the archipelago. The spread of Islam brought about significant cultural and political changes, leading to the emergence of powerful sultanates that challenged Majapahit's authority. At the same time, the arrival of European explorers and traders marked the beginning of a new era. The Portuguese, followed by the Dutch and the British, sought to capitalize on the region's rich resources and strategic location. Their involvement further complicated the political landscape, as local rulers allied with or resisted the European powers in their bid for control. Conclusion: a lesson in history. The story of the Regreg War serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities and challenges that come with maintaining a vast and diverse empire. It underscores the importance of strong leadership, strategic alliances, and the need to address internal divisions before they can escalate into full-scale conflict. As history has shown, the rise and fall of empires are often determined not just by external forces but by the ability to navigate and resolve internal strife. In the annals of Javanese history, the Regreg War remains a symbol of both the strength and fragility of the Majapahit Empire, a chapter that continues to offer valuable lessons for future generations. The echoes of this tumultuous period resonate through time, reminding us of the enduring impact of leadership, unity, and the relentless march of history. The personalities of the war. The Regreg War was not just a conflict of armies but also a clash of personalities. Wirabhumi and Wikramawardhana were both products of their time, shaped by the complex political and cultural landscape of Majapahit. Their rivalry was as much personal as it was political, with each man embodying different visions for the future of the empire. Wirabhumi was a warrior at heart, driven by a desire to restore the glory of his father's reign and expand Majapahit's influence. His charisma and martial prowess inspired loyalty among his followers, but his aggressive tactics and uncompromising stance alienated potential allies. Wirabhumi's downfall was ultimately a result of his inability to build broad-based support and adapt to changing circumstances. Wikramawardhana, in contrast, was a more cautious and diplomatic leader. He understood the importance of alliances and the need for stability. His ability to navigate the complex web of relationships within the empire, combined with his strategic acumen, allowed him to gradually turn the tide of war in his favor. Wikramawardhana's victory was a testament to his resilience and leadership, but it also came at a high cost. The impact on the people. While the Regreg War was primarily a struggle for power among the elite, its impact was felt deeply by the common people of Majapahit. The war brought widespread destruction, displacing communities and disrupting the intricate network of trade and agriculture that sustained the empire. Villages were burned, fields lay fallow, and countless lives were lost or forever altered by the conflict. The social fabric of Majapahit was also strained by the war. The prolonged fighting exacerbated existing divisions and created new ones, as regions aligned themselves with one faction or the other. The war's end did not immediately heal these wounds, and the empire faced a long and difficult process of rebuilding and reconciliation. Cultural and artistic flourishing amidst turmoil. Despite the chaos and destruction of the Regreg War, Majapahit remained a center of cultural and artistic innovation. The period saw the production of significant literary and artistic works that reflected the complex and often contradictory nature of the time. Court poets and artists chronicled the war's events, immortalizing the heroes and tragedies in their works. The war also influenced Majapahit's architecture and urban planning. The need for fortified cities and defensive structures led to advancements in engineering and construction. These innovations would later be incorporated into the empire's iconic temples and palaces, blending functionality with aesthetic beauty. The lessons of history. The Regreg War offers timeless lessons about leadership, power, and the human cost of conflict. It reminds us that even the most powerful empires are vulnerable to internal divisions, and that the path to lasting peace and stability requires wisdom, resilience, and a willingness to adapt. For modern readers, the story of the Regreg War serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the importance of inclusive and responsive governance. It highlights the need for leaders to balance strength with diplomacy and to prioritize the well-being of their people over personal or factional gains. A final reflection. The Majapahit Empire, despite its eventual decline, left an indelible mark on the history and culture of Southeast Asia. Its legacy can be seen in the region's art, language, and social structures. The Regreg War, as a pivotal chapter in that legacy, continues to be a source of reflection and learning. As we look back on the events of 1404 to 1406, we are reminded of the complexities of human history and the ways in which the past shapes our present and future. The story of Wirabhumi and Wikramawardhana, of ambition and resilience, of war and its aftermath, remains relevant to this day. It challenges us to consider how we can learn from history to build a more just and peaceful world. In the end, the Regreg War is more than just a historical conflict, it is a mirror reflecting the eternal struggles and aspirations of humanity. It is a testament to the enduring power of leadership and the resilience of people in the face of adversity. And it is a story that, despite its specific context, holds universal lessons for all who seek to understand the forces that shape our world.